Okay, we will take a at least a 5 minute break anyway for those who want to get up, stretch their legs, grab a coffee, beer, use the restroom, whatever. And then we will be talking about the Consumer Electronics Show that you and I used to go to many years ago. And now we do it virtually. So this is going to be an upcoming review of what we saw online. That'll be coming shortly. And meanwhile, we'll just keep the discussion going. Anything you'd like, questions you'd like to ask, and Huey will, or Drew, or anyone will jump in. By the way, would you make Drew a co-host if he's not yet?
Yep, I did. Okay.
And I will be right back.
All right. Uh yeah, the CES, I started watching a lot of the videos from day one and using an AI program that I paid for 1 month. I thought it would be unlimited, but it only allowed me 30 files, but I took 30 videos and made PowerPoints out of them. And I wanted to upload them to the CFCS BBS on the Discord, but there's a limit of 10 megabytes for each file, and most of them are about 20, 25, so I couldn't do that. But let me just show you, uh, share, okay, close this, and here's a list of them that CES, this is 2025, so I can delete that. That's going to be wrong. Okay, so we got, so let me just open one up to show you. Here's day one highlights. I use the same theme for each one, so I can take slides from each of them and then do it. But here's Las Vegas day one, and let me go ahead and just, this is from a video, and it made this slideshow. I think it just did a great job. Some of the pictures were actually the items were from the show, and some were not. So, but you can see the different 3D printed shoes and newbie hair flow and lollipops, star away, and then so robotic barista and carbon-based innovation, flip paper battery, flexible power. So they're working on new ways to do batteries and so on. So this was one of the articles. I'm not sure how I'm going to share these. Uh, Let me go ahead and stop the share. But as I said, I've got about 30 of those files with different slides, and I'm going to take some slides and I did each one with the same theme, so I can move the slides from one to the other and then make I'm probably going to make an hour presentation out of it for Stug, and it will be different than what we're going to do here today, but a lot of that information is there. But then on the third day of the show, they started uh, with some summaries and some of the best of the shows and so on. And I ran out of ways to make those videos into PowerPoint, so I don't have all of them. But I also have the daily show newspaper for CES, and each of them are about 20 megabytes. So I can't upload them either. I was going to try. The next thing I'm going to try to do, I think, I'll see if it works. I'll try to make them in each page into an image and then zip the images together. It might be uh, the newsletter you might be able to take a look at, or their newspaper. Mike, I see you're back.
I am, and I know you were talking about the process you went through. Let me first share my screen here. This is the Central Florida Computer Society's web place. It's just a placeholder, website placeholder, and it gives the information on where we are today. And it has the links to the various resources, and primarily our resources are the meetings that you're attending now, and then our Discord social media site and our YouTube channel where we will put all the recorded videos with links to Huey's Huey.net that Huey was mentioning earlier during the WinSig. So I'm going to very quickly show you the Discord site because we're going to talk about CES. And the Discord site is essentially an old BBS brought up to speed in a modern social media system. And this happens to be the CES 2026 channel under our alphabetized tech channels. And what I wanted to do, knowing that CES was starting back around the 1st of January, I created this channel as an introduction to CES. And we had some of the videos that the Consumer Electronics Organization, actually called Consumer Technology Association, and they had a preview video for CES with some interesting planning information anyway. And then we started posting articles to it, which in most cases were videos of presentations, which could have been a manufacturer's presentation, it could have been a press conference. But we have probably got, if you were to sit down and watch every video that's been posted, you probably take up a week's worth of your entertainment time online or watching TV. But the nice thing is it'll be here until 2027. So you got the whole year to come back and get a complete review of just about everything that took place at the Consumer Electronics Show. Some are articles, some are interviews. Um, Here's an app that you can download and put on your phone and then search for a particular manufacturer and see what they announced this year if you like. This just happens to be Panasonic's. And NVIDIA had their big press conference and their announcements. And some of the tech channels make use of um, gave their analysis of what they saw, and some of the keynote conferences are on here, and their keynote conferences is probably about 50 of them from different manufacturers or different segments of the industry that the CES folks put together, and those videos are available.
Mike, how are you putting those up? Are you just putting a link and it
That's the
points?
nice that's the nice thing about Discord, and anybody who joins it that wants to join us, all you do is just I'll go all the way here down to the very bottom, and you notice I have a something that I can type in. I can just put in a link, and what I will do, because I haven't done it all yet, is I will actually get the link of this particular YouTube video that I was going to talk about. I will show you probably about 30 seconds of this video, but I hadn't put it up on Discord yet. So here is an author talking about the problems with CES 2026, how crowded it gets, and do you get your business done while you're there? And I thought it would be interesting to put it up on Discord. So all I do is right click on it, copy it, go back to Discord, come down here to the next item. I could just start typing my own comments if I wanted to, but all I'm going to do is paste in that YouTube channel, and then I'm going to hit enter. It goes out, it gets the channel, gets the information on it. You can actually watch it on Discord if you want, or you can just click on the link and go directly to YouTube and watch it. That's how easy it is for anybody who joins our Discord. And you can see there's a bunch of us in here that are presently online, and a whole bunch that haven't been on in a while, going back 5 years. But if you're interested in joining and haven't, just go to cfcs.org, and the link for setting up your Discord account and the invitation link to Discord will be there.
Mike, I tried to put those articles that I made PowerPoints out of
Hmm.
try to upload them, and I discovered that Discord has a file size of 10 megabytes
Right. So what you
limit.
want to
So
do, in my opinion, what you would want to do is take that PowerPoint presentation, for example, go on to YouTube and make it what I guess they call it, YouTube calls it slides, if I remember correctly. And you just upload it into slides on YouTube and then put the link to it. And then you would actually play it and it'll
boy,
actually play.
what a round robin that is, because
Yeah.
I took a YouTube video that somebody else did and made a PowerPoint out of it, and then
Yeah.
turned around and make a
Round
video out
robin.
of
Yeah,
it.
that's true. It will take, it'll take um, graphics, PNGs, JPEGs. So I can click here and say upload a file. So I could put any PNG or any graphic in. And then it will take a doc and it will take a PowerPoint. But yes, it has a size limit. It'll take a
Oh,
text file also.
okay, let's talk about CES.
Say yes. All right. So Huey's got some stuff. Drew, are you with us also?
Yes, I have a couple of articles
Okay. So what I
of
want,
the best of CES type stuff.
okay, good. So we're gonna do a sort of a rotation kind of thing. What I wanted to do is give you just a quick overview of what it looks like at CES. So I'm just gonna I picked this video at where it is. Let me get the screen to go up here. I'm not going to stay with this for more than 30 seconds because I don't
If you
want to
turn
violate.
if you turn the sound off, you shouldn't have a problem.
Okay, let's see here.
There
I
you
think
go.
it's off. Okay.
Yep.
So now this is on the main show floor. Um, And this looks like it's probably in the east building, which is 2 stories high, because that actually looks like a low ceiling. You may be looking at this ceiling saying, oh, that's a pretty big building. Well, that's half the size of the Las Vegas Convention Center on the next major section. If you go into the major section, the central hall, the height of the building is going to be twice this high, and the show floor is amazing. But this just gives you an idea on a particular day when this was recorded of the people that are walking around on the show floor. And let's cut back just a little bit here. You can see exhibits are going on. People are getting interactively getting involved. Demonstrations are going on. I don't know how they get business done, but that's what they're trying to do. And they had just shy of 200,000 people at the 2026 event. And at the original ones that we used to go back to Comdex in the late 80s and early 90s. And they get close to 300,000 people coming in for the event. So you can see the kinds of activities that are going on, the interviews, the devices, anything you can think of that is somehow electronic, now AI, a gadget, something that you could never think of why anybody would even create it. I can't even tell what that is. It looks like it's a type of well, we'd have to see what it is. But it's just, if you can think about it, it's there.
It
Cars are
looked
there.
it looked like a water cooler for a CD.
Yeah. And cars there are now because of all the electronics in our cars. We're computers on wheels, and AI is getting into the cars too. So, and anyway, that's just an example of what the show floor looks like. Now, I said that we've been going for a long time. Huey and I went back. Well, we went back to Comdex to those days. So here is CES in 2009. Just happens to be day 3 of the show floor, and getting a presentation. And we looks like we're in the auto section, and they're going through satellite receivers going into cars in this particular area. And let's see here what we got besides that. This was probably one of the press presentations for Last Gadget Standing. This was a regular event where they would have a competition for the best gadgets produced over the last year, and then have a presentation and a big award ceremony and giving away, there it is, Last Gadget Standing. And that was Robin was the chairperson of that group. I don't know if she's with us anymore, but this gives you an idea of what they would do. And they'd each give a presentation, and then they'd give an award, and then they'd have giveaways and all kinds of interesting stuff that was going on at the time. And let's go down here. These are some of the presenters. And I think we're on the show floor now looking at this. Looks like we went to the gaming section. And this was the interactive gaming. We were actually using a game. You're driving a car on a track, and this thing will tilt and tip and rumble and make you think like you're really driving a car. Yeah, look, they got 3 screens set up for that, and they're still doing that stuff. Gaming was one of the big things that pushed the development of computers and accessories. And then let's see here. I thought, unless I overrode it, yeah, here it is. So more of the same, all kinds of stuff, every little accessories, software, hardware, all the accessories manufacturers would come. There were accessories for just about everything. Seats, even to sit on and play games. Boom chairs. And this one got my attraction. So this was one of my famous pictures that I used a lot when I got back home afterwards. I still use it today. But I said this has got to go in my den. Never did. Never did get it, but it was there. And I got a chance to play a game, and this thing would rotate and vibrate and turn and twist, and it was interesting chair. And then I'll mention this. I'm sorry to be a little sexist if I am today, but back then, a lot more than today, cheesecake, let's be kind, was highlighted at CES, and the young ladies would be scattered around the floors and try, attract people into their discussions. Then I don't know, we're looking at the backside of one of the screens. But the main reason I kept this particular one, there's some of the internationally, there would all kinds of countries would exhibit, and they'd have their own separate exhibits in the associated hotel that was next to it. I think back then it was a Hilton. It'd be the international section. Very kind of sparse, but you'd really see a lot of stuff. And these are kinds of the things that they would have, that they'd be pushing for their manufacturers. And we would collect swag. And of course, we were very active with the Computer Society, and we'd be pushing for, free samples and things. So when Huey and I would get back to the hotel room, which we shared on each of our beds, we would just unload our bags and sort out the stuff that was there, figure out which ones we actually wanted to keep, which ones we wanted to throw away, and which ones we would bring back and use as door prizes for the Computer Society. And I actually have this little earphone. I still have the earphones today. They were the audio plug-in and this little case sitting in the other room next to my TV set. And this is from 2009. I still have it. And we were getting flash drives. Of course, back then, the flash drives, you were lucky if it was 100K or, half a meg or 5 megs or something. Well, they were, today we're in the gigabytes. But we bring back a lot of these flash drives because you could put programs on them. I guess that was your bed.
Yeah.
Um, but I do miss that, but we certainly do cover much more um, than doing this virtually. So Huey also mentioned he used AI to help him put stuff together. I've got some things to talk about from that are actually on the Discord. But I just today, probably around noon, maybe 11:30 this morning, I just went to Gemini and said, "Hey, I'm conducting a conference. What's new, most interesting, and likely to go into distribution?" And give me a list of products by category that make good discussion during the conference with the URLs of the product and review. You can do that too. Okay. Save yourself a lot of lookup. So I'll just make my comments up front by leading, and then I'll switch over to Huey and Drew and let them talk about stuff. But AI's analysis, and this is fairly recent information because CES just closed this week. So they're actually combining their lookups with what's available on the web.
Mike, if I could interrupt for a moment.
Sure.
Uh, for those of you who aren't familiar with CES or what it is, it's a show of what the manufacturers are working on, not necessarily what's available today. So some of what they're showing, they've got it's a piece or a part that might go in somebody's computer that a company would utilize and buy from that company to install in their computer or in their whatever they're doing. And it might be a year or 2 years or 3 years down a road, or it might
Right.
never come
Lot,
to fruition.
lots of things we saw never ever showed up in production.
And some of them in 2009 that they were showing, it was 10 years later before we actually see or hear about them. I
Yep.
can remember one of the early ones who we went to, they were talking about USB, and I had no idea what USB was all about. And now look at it.
Yep, I agree. Now that's the point I wanted to make, and you brought up is on this particular screen in the prompt I gave it, I said, what is this AI's analysis of what's likely to go into distribution in 2026? If I submit this to another AI, it might have a different result because it's asking for an opinion. And this is where I get into all kinds of quandaries because when I even ask an AI, explain how a large language model works, and they start talking about analyzing the words that it's, what's likely to come next, and it's very logical procedure done at high speed and all the rest of that. Well, how in the world is just analyzing a language model going to actually come up with an opinion as to what's likely to go into distribution in 2026? There has to be an awful lot more analysis going on behind the scenes that we just don't see, and even the AI companies don't let us in on how they do it, because I'm sure a lot of it's proprietary. So they did say robotics and household helpers are definitely coming out and going to be in distribution sometime this year. And they gave some links. These links will go up on that Discord CES for those of you that come in on it. And the one that I noticed specifically is Roborock is kind of taking over as the AI vacuum, if you will, from the predecessors. And Tom's Guide, which is a hardware analysis firm on the web, the way I get a lot of material from, says it's the best robot vacuum of CES. And I think I have a picture of it. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. You look at this and you say, that's a vacuum cleaner. It's got legs and rollers on the legs, but it's actually rolling up as a vacuum, and it senses, here comes some steps, and these legs come down, raise it up, and as it goes up over the steps, it will go sideways and clean the steps and then climb up to the next step and climb up to the next step and then go on and continue cleaning the house. It's amazing what these things are doing. Um, they also say that displays and mobile computing is a big category, especially the trifolds and the rollables, and it's saying you can get from your phone things that are likely to make tablets and other similar items obsolete. So they like the Samsung Galaxy Trifold, the Lenovo ThinkPad Rollable. It's a laptop with a screen extends vertically. At the touch of the button goes up or down. Um, and the LG wallpaper OLED TV. Now I've seen some of those previously where the TV itself is like a fabric screen that just pulls up or pushes up. But they apparently think, and this is only 9 millimeters thick, and they think that's going to be in distribution this year. Well, they're saying distribution spring 2026. And then as we noted from the very quick look at the video and what I had mentioned about automobiles, they've been a big part of CES especially over the last 10 years as more and more electronics get into it. So here's a $90,000 Sony Honda mashup, which is viewed as being a rolling entertainment hub. I sincerely hope it drives itself so the driver isn't distracted. And solid state batteries are supposed to make the EV batteries much more efficient. And that will be interesting to see what kind of retrofitting will be involved. But the big thing is the technology advancement. 10 minutes for a full charge. That's pretty amazing if they can do it. And health and longevity tech has always been a big part of CES. Every year I see all kinds of things designed to either detect or advise or improve our longevity or our health electronically in one way or another. They've got a longevity mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? Smart mirror, if you want it to tell you. And brain tracking headsets. I know Elon Musk actually has now an embeddable chip that connects, I guess, through Bluetooth. I don't know what it's broadcasting, or maybe it's got its own wavelength. But at any rate, connecting us up electronically to sensors that are either then analyzed by our phone or analyzed by a dedicated box. And that's expected by the third quarter. And then smart home and lifestyle. This one is for Bill. And I don't know if he's on with us today, but I know he does lots of interesting gadgets for tech for seniors. So it's a chef's ultrasonic knife, only $400.
I saw that and it really looks interesting and it is really a nice knife. I would love to have one, but I'm not going to spend $400
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. I'll just use my knife that I sharpened. And I was talking with Huey earlier. My family's getting ready to go separate ways for a while, and I'm going to be home by myself. And my dad said, "Okay, you got to set your phone up or something, so that if you fall, it gets in touch with us," which I have set that up in case it detects a fall. But I don't have anything that would unlock my doors if I had to dial 911. And I really am probably going to invest in one of the newer locks that's got a Bluetooth connection where I can press a button on the phone and it'll unlock. And I think, I don't know for certain that first responders have some kind of a tie-in with different brands of locks where they can just come up to your house, press a button or hit a code or do something so that they don't have to knock the door down just to get to me if I'm lying on the floor somewhere. So I'm definitely going to be checking into that one or something similar anyway. Um, and then they did suggest some discussion points, and we can talk about those as we go based on what you hear. So I'm going to stop sharing and over to you, Huey.
All right. I'm just going to take a couple of those slideshows to give you some examples of some of the things I've found. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to take the first one here and bring it over. And okay, this was the best of CES 2026, the Venetian upper level. So this was just one hall, a tour of the top startups, tennis robots, and innovative tech. Based on the walkthrough by Jeffrey Pius of a Geek Gazine, exploring the new and up-and-coming companies at the Consumer Electronics Show. Welcome to the Venetian at CES. Uh, it's the upper level, and let's see, premium Korean coffee and bathroom wellness. There's an all-in-one espresso machine, fully automatic system that grinds beans, tamps, and brews without manual portafilters. Features a touchscreen interface for making everything from Americano to cappuccino. Includes a milk frother for customized drinks and offered at a competitive price point of around $300, significantly less than similar machines. And then also, let's see, I think there was a picture there, but it's not showing for whatever reason. Uh, Let me try to do something here. Yeah, there it is. And then also a smart bidet toilet for about $230. High-end models feature automatic lifting seats and a remote control. Remote offers options for water position, front, back wash, heated seats, and even a skincare button. Benefits include saving toilet paper, enhanced cleanliness, and the comfort of a heated seat. Okay. Um, Then there was from the Japanese tech area, my Symmetry app, an application to help users identify and visualize their body's misalignment, such as a pelvic tilt or rotation. It then provides guided exercises to help correct these issues, enabling users to walk and stand straighter. And then the core heel inserts. These are specialized heel inserts designed to align the body while walking. They help with foot alignments like plantar fasciitis by providing arch height and heel axis correction, ultimately reducing fatigue for those who stand or walk all day. Innovation Award Showcase, a quick walkthrough, uh, NVIDIA and MSI gaming hardware featuring the powerful GeoForce RTX 5080 Expert Series video card and MSI's Edge Expert motherboard. Arm rehabilitation robot, an innovative device from Hong Kong Polytech University designed to assist with arm rehabilitation. Reolink XCam Security, a 24 megapixel triple lens AI security camera for advanced home or business surveillance. Smart Firefighting Robot, a rugged deployable robot designed to handle smaller fires, allowing human firefighters to focus on rescue operations. Garmin and other wearables, a collection of award-winning smartwatches, including the Garmin Venue 4, Fenix 8 Pro, and Forerunner 970, and advanced robot vacuums, showcasing smart home robots like the Echovacs and the Dream Aqua 10, which features a self-cleaning receptacle. Beatless, eco-friendly pest control from Ukraine. Operates without chemicals, safe for essential pollinators like bees, supporting biodiversity. Reduces long-term cost and promotes safer food production. Designed to be placed in fields like light posts, creating a protective zone. View Reel, versatile micro LED technology from Canada. Transparent displays. RDK4 is a 3.5-inch transparent RGB display. This technology can be used in car dashboards or heads-up displays, overlaying information without obstructing the view. Smart lighting and indicators. I'm not going to read through the whole thing. Customizable taillights. Uh, Beyond long lasting, they can display custom designs such as Canadian maple leaf when the brakes are applied. And then a friendly EV charger from Hungary. Volt Volti or Volt AI presents a simple and stylish EV charger for home use. It features a fun animated face on its display and is packed with smart technology. Integrates with building management and smart home systems. App controlled for remote monitoring of your car charge. Includes over 10 built-in safety protections to prevent faults and features a durable, future-proof design. And here's one, if you like espresso on the go, look at the size of that and what it is. It says Waco introduces the Pico Espresso, a battery operated portable espresso machine. So it can grind 8 to 16 grams of coffee beans, compatible with coffee capsules, fully battery operated. Uh, SwitchBot AceMate, a true tennis rally robot. So you can play tennis with a robot. SwitchBot, the household chore robot. Laundry assistant, kitchen helper, cleaning tasks, and advanced mobility. Uh, Creating Spark X, AI enhanced 3D printing. Target Omniscoring and the AI dartboard system.
I'm
Play
just going
darts?
to
Well,
jump in a second, Huey, on that
sure.
last one on AI. Well, AI as enhancing 3D printing, but 3D printing, you and I saw that 10 years ago as it was
Yeah.
just coming out as a new technology. And it was kind of cute making animals like that and things, we didn't really think about it in terms of what kind of an impact it was going to make on worldwide technology. Now you need a part for an automobile that's no longer made. It's actually grown in an AI printer. And in the medical field, they now can actually come up with bio tissue that the body won't reject. It actually treats it as parts of the body, and they can now actually use AI printing to create parts of organs and things and skin and do that in surgical suites. So it's just and they've got this up on the International Space Station. If they need a part, they got all these reels of materials, and they can make the part that it would take them months to get up there with a shuttle or not a
I
shuttle
know th
capsule.
I know the library system in Manatee County, which is where I am, in Sarasota County, which is just south of us. They have uh, uh, 3D printing machines in certain libraries that you can use as part of your library card usage, no extra charges. I don't know whether they charge for the materials or not, but you can actually learn how to use and actually create things on their machines to see what it's like. And it's free.
That reel of filaments that it has there, that looks like that's an AI generated image. Because that one in the middle, it starts off green at the top, splits into a yellow and green, and then splits further again down into a two yellows.
I don't think it is an AI picture.
That
If it came from the video,
yeah.
if it if this program that created the PowerPoint might have created a video, I don't know, or the image, I don't know.
It can take the filaments and change colors. I don't know if it can actually take a yellow and blue to make what makes orange? Yellow and green? Yellow and whatever it is.
Yellow
It's
and red
because
make
it's
orange.
subtractive coloring when you take solid instead of additive coloring.
And dartboards that score for you. Uh, personal wellness at home, and there's some other things here, filming technology and so on. So that's just one of the videos that I watched and what came out of it. Uh, Let me do one more, and I'm going to zip through this one. I can get it over here. There we go. And this one is Las Vegas Day One, highlights our future fun, look at tomorrow's technology. Let's kind of go through this quickly. A lot of these were very small uh, robots, but there was a lot of them at the show, and some is as large as humans, but some just small ones for various purposes. Engage in conversation, learn actions and habits to anticipate needs, organize notes and reminds users of meetings, aims to be supportive, initially launching via crowdfunding. Interactive at the LG booth, uh, legacy of sound, uh, battery removal, 2-minute swap, and ready to fly drone operations. Drones are going to be a big thing. And flying taxis are going to be introduced in 2026. You're going to start seeing uh, uh, they look and appear like a drone, but they aren't. They are flying taxis. The Dream Room, immersive smart lighting, AI and love. Touching narrative is shared, telling the story of a lonely researcher and Amy, the first AI he ever created. The Matrix Wall, scalable display technology. Wearable audio, bone conduction beanie. Innovations in personal care and fashion. Hair flow, straightener hints at new approach to styling hair, possibly using advanced airflow technology alongside heat. Uh, 3D printed shoes, 3D printed decorative or functional item, highlighting the versatility of technology for creating complex shapes. And then the robotic barista, and then flip paper battery, flexible power, carbon-based innovation, and some takeaway trends, and that's it for that one. And let me go ahead and stop the share. Lots of interesting items, some far-fetched, some very useful, some, boy, I wish I had it yesterday.
Okay, Drew, your impressions.
Let me find the share screen button and my glasses.
Can't use your AI glasses, huh?
No, they don't. I can't figure out how to get Zoom to zoom in. And we will shrink that and hide the floating controls. I basically have three articles, just three articles. Um, this is one of the things that they introduced, that they do every year, is LG introduced this year a wallpaper TV, rather large screen. I don't know if they tell you how big it is. New model is only 9 millimeters thick. Has carved linear patterns around the enforced rigidity to keep it, and it hangs flush against the wall. So it has some kind of zero connect box, so you have no wires or cables coming out of the TV. It is the box is 35% smaller than its previous iteration, and the problem I have with some of these newer TVs with all of this fancy technology is the content that you get doesn't match up to the hardware. If you're just streaming YouTube TV or from Paramount or wherever you get your content from, I don't think the content has the resolution and capability to take advantage of some of the of the TVs that are out there.
I was
They have this
watching
new thing.
I was watching some of the playoffs on ESPN, and my TV does upscale from whatever it's coming at to 4K if I wish it to. And so, I think, well, this is just fine until I got a pop-up button from ESPN that says upgrade your picture to 4K. And then if you click on it, there's a charge. And
Right.
they're going to charge you to get that content. So it's
Yeah, and they have this new thing called quantum dot technology. I don't know what quantum dots are, but
if you look
they
at
call
them,
this
they
a
disappear.
They're both on and
uh,
off at the same time.
Yeah.
um, and then this is PC World's best of CES, what they considered to be the best. This is a Lenovo ThinkBook that has a twist functionality for the monitor. For those of you who might need to share your screen, with somebody while you're doing a demonstration, or I don't know what you would use this for. Um, but Lenovo has this new auto twist laptop. Um, and then Intel has a new Core Ultra Series 3 processor coming out called the Panther Lake. Um, and it offers the gaming performance of an older NVIDIA GeForce laptop, discrete GPU performance integration, NVIDIA DLSS. I don't know what that even stands for. It's the gold standard of AI upscaling and frame generation. Um, this is one that caught my eye. This is actually not, this is just a screen that's sitting here. The entire computer is actually in the keyboard. So you can actually take this keyboard, throw it in your briefcase, and take it with you someplace and plug it into any monitor, and that's your whole computer.
Yeah, that's like the Pi
Um,
500.
it has it's an AMD, it has 64 gigabytes of RAM and a 2 terabyte hard drive in the keyboard. Um, and then Lenovo has this X1 Carbon. I don't know. I'm not going to click on the button to start the video. It's a repairable ThinkPad. It's supposed to be uh, it's only 1 millimeter thinner, lighter. Um, but it's supposed to be an easily repairable device. Um, and then look at this gadget here. This is a big monitor for a little laptop. The Legion Pro rollable. I don't know what's rollable about it, but it's
The screen
um
actually rolls up to shrink. No, it's right now it's unrolled, but it rolls up to get back into that form factor so that you
oh,
can close it.
Oh,
so that you can close
the
it.
sides are
Oh, okay.
pulled
So
out.
yeah,
The
so if you
sides
look
get
right
pulled out. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
if
see
you
it.
it
look right if you look right here, that's where the hinge is right here. It matches up. And so this part here must slide in
Yeah.
to
on both
this, and
on
this
both
part slides
sides.
in,
Yeah.
and so that you can have an expanded monitor, which is kind of nice. Um, Here's a gaming headset that they claim is the best sounding gaming headset. Um, and there is a um, I don't know even know what this is. More gaming stuff.
Gaming tablet.
Um, I don't even know what that is. Frame e-ink canvas, some kind of fancy frame that you can put on the wall.
So we've had picture frames in the past where you could just put a USB or an SD card onto it and put your pictures on and it would display your pictures. But this is actually fabric that is itself the screen. And then whatever gets loaded into this, the electronics are behind it, makes it look like it's a true picture, not
Right.
a JPEG image.
Right. And it generates AI art or allows you to upload your own art as well. No subscription required. You're allowed 100 free open AI art creations per year. Um, and it uses a 13-inch. Somebody just came into the.
I get it. Got it.
Uh, um,
Popped up on yours.
and then ASUS has a OLED LG panel. I don't know what it does. Debuted the boundary pushing of new OLED. And what else do we have? A laptop reference design, a futuristic cooling technology that was first seen last year at CES. The company is showing off a new laptop, uh, moves past tiny fans and allows a radical new hardware design to cool the devices. And then there is a solar Mars bot built as a mobile solar storage bot that finds the sun, charges itself, and delivers power when you need it. And that's it for that one. And then just these last few, the 15 coolest things that this guy saw. Phones change color as they're getting released. You'll want to use this physical keyboard with this accessory. So here's a keyboard for your phone. I don't know if I would do this with my cell phone, but
Nope. With people who used Blackberries, that's what they're aiming at. People who use them loved the keyboard on the phone, and they're going to be able to use something similar to that.
so you attach it to your phone magnetically, and you can then pair the keyboard over Bluetooth, giving you a physical keyboard.
I
And
might
it
have
has a
to try
built-in
that.
battery so that you can charge your phone.
Yep.
I have to see what it costs.
Here is a camera that watches while you eat. um,
You might as well get
Still
married.
logging food manually. This thing is a past. It goes into production. It sits on the dining room table and records what you eat. um, and then this is an example of what the future home might look like with all of the new lighting technology that they have. They call it Luma Blend.
Yeah,
Uh,
Govee is doing a lot with lighting, but also Govee has an ice making machine, one of those desktop ice makers, and several companies had ice makers. I don't know what it is about them, but other companies that are dealing with other products also have an ice making machine.
um, Reebok wants in on the smart glasses market.
And there's a
So
whole bunch of them being shown or that were shown at CES, all different kinds of uh, smart glasses.
uh, UV 400 lenses and no camera. Um, so $299. Um, and here is robots that you'll want in your house.
When Huey
Um,
showed those little robots earlier, I was thinking back to the Furbies, if you remember those, Huey.
Yep.
yeah,
They were just little things that would respond to you and coo and wiggle and do whatever. So now the AIs respond to you and cool and whatever,
yeah.
but they're actually understanding what you're saying and they respond in kind back to you again.
And then here's a robot that will tidy up your house for you.
I need that.
And a company that's doing some stuff with keyboards. Um, think all metal keyboard is cool. They're I don't know what wood, ceramic, marble, and even stone. I don't know why you need to have all that in your keyboard, but and then again, more robots, humanoid robots, and then this brand is bringing back landlines.
I saw that. I saw that. It's designed, it's really not landline because you don't change your service. But like I've got a wireless phone right now that connects, to my internet and then sends it out to wireless phones. This doesn't, so for somebody that just wants to talk, this basically
Mhm.
takes the internet signal and will answer the phone and will also, you pick it up and get a dial tone and you can dial out. And so it's just like the old landline phones were, but it's doing it over the internet.
Yeah, it says here it uses a voice over IP to make calls.
Yep.
And ASUS has finally figured out its audience. This is a new router that you can buy from ASUS if you want to have a router on your tabletop that doesn't look like, a thing from outer space.
Hmm.
ASUS is intent on getting you to buy a router you don't need. Um,
Wi-Fi 8.
uh, and then Samsung puts AI in just about everything it can get. An art and the nostalgia done right with an arcade game, and gesture control is a new thing that it's another thing that's people are working on this year. Um, Gesture control systems let you interact with your phone without actually using it. E-ink frames are another thing that's coming out here, so that you can have built-in battery. It cycles through 3,000 refreshes and charges via USB-C, called Ink Poster. And I guess that's about it.
And for those that have not or probably will not go to our Discord, I just posted a 30-minute video from a company called Laughing Lion that does lots of Las Vegas travel logs and things like that. So their reporter went to CES and said, must see tech at CES. The link to it's in the chat. So there's a sort of a look ahead, if you wish, to see the kinds of things that we have on the Discord. And frankly, if you watch YouTube, just type in CES 2026 and you'll have more content than you can watch in a week or longer.
Any comments from anybody out there of what you've seen or the kinds of things you saw? Stephen?
Well, I only heard quantum mentioned one time, I think.
Quantum dot displays.
Recently on YouTube, they've talked about a new quantum chip. Apparently, they've been able to work out some of the bugs, the errors that usually come about. And it's only very recent, but it's supposedly, it's 1,000 times faster than anything that's out there now. It's still a little early, so that probably will not come out maybe until next year.
About when cold fusion makes its debut.
Yeah, cold fusion is right. Could be.
Any other comments?
The repairable computer that I think, I don't remember, it was a Lenovo that was in there, Drew, that you showed.
Yeah, I think so.
Company called Framework that I actually learned about in watching one of the CES videos probably about 5 years ago. And their claim to fame is it's a notebook that you build yourself. They've got models from 13 inches to 17 inches, and you get a kit. Comes in the mail in two different packages, and you follow the instructions just like you do on these toys that you've got to put slot A in jack B and so on. They give you a swedge so that you can open things. They give you the little screwdrivers. They give you all the components, even including the screen, and you put it together yourself. And when you're done, if you haven't destroyed it,
They need a touch.
you've got your own computer. So I thought that would be great to make my next computer 5 years ago. And I still have it. It's a 13-inch. And about the only comment I can make is that because the design is designed both to build and for repairability, because you can take it apart and replace on any of the modules, it's heavier. And I'm going to say it's almost twice as heavy as a similar computer that's actually made to be slim and lightweight. So although it's heavy, relatively speaking, it's a perfectly good computer. And I suppose if the manufacturers are building them that way and can find a way to make them lighter, they'll sell because people are going to want to keep them, and the cost of repairs can be much less.
Can you swap around the components and upgrade them?
Yeah, you can upgrade. I can easily get in and change out the M2 chip, and I can change out the Wi-Fi module, and the CPU is actually on its own mount. So you wouldn't take the CPU off the mount. You would get a sub-assembly that would put a faster CPU that's compatible with that motherboard.
And the same thing with the Express bus?
I don't know. That's a good question. I know the motherboard has some, well, anything that's on the motherboard that's not mounted on something is soldered in. So if they're soldered in, probably not. But the motherboard's replaceable. So I
Yeah.
can take it all apart and go swap the motherboard out.
Stephen, your hand is up.
Yeah, so Mike talked about the battery that charges in 10 minutes, which is fantastic. However, you didn't mention, is it a extended life? I mean, does it last longer than a typical battery?
That's a good question.
So I'd like to know, the Chinese supposedly have that technology already that's much, much longer, and apparently Elon Musk may as well. And by the way, was he there with his stuff, a Neuralink or any of that kind of thing?
I have not seen any of the reporters say that they actually saw Elon Musk there. Lots of AI Elon Musk putting out YouTubes that claim to be him, but
Yeah.
they're not.
Well, the Apple Watch that I just got over Christmas, it takes about 15 minutes to charge and it lasts for 72 hours.
Yeah, my
And it's on,
Pixel.
and it's on all the time.
Yeah, my Pixel is the same way. Pixel Watch.
Yeah.
This year's Pixel Watch, which I got last fall, the charging is so much faster, and I can go a day and a half, 2 days, and I'm in good shape. Okay, well, I think we did what we wanted to do, and thanks for sticking around. The video will be made available on the distribution list that is our CFCS Google group. If you're not a member of that group and want to get those emails, again, go to cfcs.org. There's an email address there to click on and send me an email and say, add me to your list. And you'll get it. Plus, it'll also be in the YouTube library for CFCS, playlist for CFCS videos once we get it processed and posted.
Okay. Thanks, Mike
I
and
will
Drew.
stop recording.